Hello, my name is Renee Brino and I am 24 years old. I work full-time for an insurance company and part-time as a dance instructor. I am also an online college student with College for America, going for my associate's degree in general studies with a concentration in business. My off time I like to spend with family and friends, adventuring the outdoors. I love to read, I love to write, and I am also a part of a dart league and just recently started learning how to train and handle dogs, which is very fascinating, very fun, very new. My past work experience, I have been within the medical field for 6 years now. Right out of high school, I got a job with Ellis Hospital in dietary services, where I worked in the deli and I also served food to patients that were in for an inpatient admission and cleaned up as well. From there, I transferred into Ellis Hospital's Neuroscience Center, where I did a lot of clerical duties. I worked with a lot of correspondence from our neurologist to our patients' primary care doctors. I also did a lot of scanning, a lot of faxing, a lot of copying, a lot of organizing, scheduling, patient call reminders, and we were also in a migration from paper charts to electronic charts. So I would scan patients' paper charts into the system, into the electronic chart system. And from there, I transferred into the admitting department within Ellis Hospital as a patient registrar and was placed in a primary care office that was called the Family Health Center, which was also a residency program for learning providers. And in there, I checked patients in and out of appointments. I scheduled appointments. I reviewed insurances and took copays if necessary. If patients didn't have insurance, I would get them set up with an appointment for one of our insurance reps to get themselves set up with some coverage. And I also did a lot of correspondence with patient to provider, provider to patient, and also helped the nurses triage sick patients into getting them in for sick appointments with their doctor, same day appointments. And that practice was a very large primary doctor's office. It was a residency program, so we had a lot of doctors every day that were seeing patients. We would see 50 to 100 patients each day. And it was a difficult job. It wasn't the easiest people, but it was definitely one of my most rewarding jobs. I got to, help a lot of individuals with insurance needs, getting them in to see their doctor. We offered a bunch of clinics. Like I said, we were a very large practice. We offered pain management clinics, mental health clinics, Suboxone clinics, HIV clinics, and quite a few more. But from there, I transferred into the call center within Ellis Hospital, where I did a lot of scheduling for primary offices, pediatrics, allergists, neurologists, and worked alongside a lot of insurances to get insurances into the system for the patients. And from there, I am where I am now. I took a job with Anthem Insurance about 2 years ago now, and I'm a claims representative. So what I do is claims will automatically process through the system, and they'll either pay or deny. And I will see a claim when the system cannot automatically process it. So it'll come to me and I will investigate the claim and adjust it accordingly to make sure it is either paying or denying correctly. So, usually I will see these claims for membership issues, provider issues, authorization issues, something's hitting a benefit issue, duplicate claims, so on and so forth. But coming into the insurance company, it was really cool that I still got to keep the medical terminology and whatnot. So I'm definitely staying in that medical field. I just really enjoy the business side of it. And in my evenings, I teach dance, my pride, my joy. I've been a dancer for 20 years, and I have been gifted the opportunity to teach kids ages 3 to 12 how to dance, lyrical, jazz, ballet, hip-hop, tap. We have so much fun. I choreograph dances, teach them technique, teach them the basics, choreograph dances for our annual recital at the end of every year. And again, it's the light of my life. It's what makes my heart happy and something that I hope to continue for many, many years. Now, a time I worked well in a team was while I was working in that primary care office, the Family Health Center. We were an office that took patients that had little to no insurance. So we would get a lot of these patients that couldn't afford it, didn't know where to get it, didn't know how to set it up. So I worked with the insurance representatives as a team. I would gather the patient's information and give our insurance caller rep. I would set up an appointment either on the phone or in office for the patient, and the patient was still able to have their doctor's appointment, and the insurance rep had that patient's information so they could get the ball rolling on the insurance, so that when the insurance did kick in, it picked up that office visit that they just had with their primary doctor. This took worry off of the patients, and they had confidence that, okay, I'm going to be able to see my doctor and not have to worry about that scary bill that could come into the mail. So the insurance reps and I, we worked really close on getting those patients active coverage as soon as we could, because that's never easy for anybody to have to worry about. A time when I had too many things to do and had to prioritize is probably at my current job. I am assigned daily goals where I have to get a certain amount of claims processed and pushed out and finalized. So also on top of my claims, I have medical record requests that have to be sent. I have letters that have to be sent for any additional information that we might require on a claim because the provider didn't add it and we need it for medical necessity. And also all the emails within my team for coworkers, managers, just to keep up to date and on processes and process improvements and anything like that. So what I'll do is I will start first thing in the morning. I will take care of all my medical record requests. I will push them out, get them out the door to the providers. From there, I will start my daily goal of achieving, getting my claims pushed out. And right before lunch, I will take on any emails I have sitting and any correspondence that I have to reply to. Like I said, coworkers, managers, and so forth. And right after lunch, I will send out any letters that I need to get out to providers that we need additional information on, and continue with my claims processing. And end of my day, I will check any last emails and reply to any that need to be taken care of. So it's a very fast environment. We see a very high inventory of claims. So I need to make sure I stay on task at all times. But when I do split up my duties and get them done at certain points in my day, then I'm hopefully exceeding my goal, which definitely I like to see that, and I do achieve that. A time when I had to go above and beyond the call of duty was while I was working in the Family Health Center. It was a very large volume practice, and we were normally short-staffed when it came to our nurses. So what I would do to try to help and get these patients in if they were really sick and take that stress off of these nurses that were already bringing patients back into the doctor's offices, getting them in, getting them all checked in and seen, and getting their blood pressure done, and asking the general questions. So what I would do with these sick patients is I would start triaging them. I would get a general idea of what is going on, so that when I did go to call a nurse, I could be like, here, this patient has this or this and this going on, seems like an emergency, let's get him in for a same-day sick visit appointment. If it was something that was a non-emergent issue, I would definitely be like, okay, well, let's get you scheduled for the next available appointment with your primary doctor. So that when the nurses did come and have to making a decision, they would be like, okay, put them here, okay, put them there, schedule them then, schedule them now, or if it came down to it, they would come out and, ask any extra questions that they did have for the patients. But by doing that, like I said, it helps speed it up for the patients to know if they were getting seen the same day or not for their sick issue, and also taking that ease off of those nurses because they work so hard. So I would hope that would be a going above and beyond the call of duty because, working in the medical field, it's all about the patients. Making sure they get the correct care, but also at the same time, making sure we save those appointments for patients that are really sick. Worst comes to worst, they might be getting sent to the ER just so they can get the care as fast as possible. A time when I've shown initiative is when I was working in the Ellis Hospital call center, scheduling patients, and we would receive a lot of patients that weren't established with a primary doctor or were sick or didn't have insurance. So what I would do for the sick patients is that were new, I would direct them over to the ER, be like, listen, you have a very emergent thing going on. I cannot get you in with a doctor today. Let's have you, go over to the emergency room or urgent care office. Let's get you seen, and we'll get you set up right away with a new patient appointment. So I would set up the new patient appointment, direct them to the ER or urgent care, and then give the ER urgent care a call, a heads up to be like, hey, so-and-so is coming in. They're in the system. They have an appointment. This is what's going on, so that they could get in, they could get seen, whatever was going on, taken care of. For the patients that didn't have insurance, I would give them all the resources and the benefits of those resources with our insurance reps to get them set up for active insurance so that they could get in and see a doctor and get their medical care taken care of, and know that their insurance is going to kick in and pick up that bill. My biggest thing about working in a hospital was these patients need the care, like that they deserve the care, so what can I do to make that speed up for them, get them seen, get them in as soon as I can for a new patient appointment, direct them to the emergency room, give the emergency room a call just to let them know so-and-so's coming in, let's get them set up, giving the insurance representatives a call ahead about, I got this patient, here's their information, this is what they have available to set up an appointment with you to get active insurance because they're sick, they need to see a doctor. So anything I could do to ease the worry, on my coworkers and on the patients, most of all, because that's where I've worked in a hospital, and I believe that, the patients always come first, So I work effectively under pressure probably every day. We see a very high inventory within our department of claims that are hitting stops, because we see a lot of these claims that are being billed incorrectly by providers. We can't understand the handwriting if they're not electronic, so, it's our duty to get these claims pushed out so that our members are not getting these crazy amount of bills in the mail. So I have to really stay on task. I have to focus. I have to work quickly yet very efficiently. I deal with money all day. So it's always a fast-paced environment, but I like it. I like the challenge, and like I said, while I was talking about how to prioritize, I set myself duties throughout the day, like certain times of the day where I take care of stuff. So more than half the time I am exceeding my goals. These members are happy, our providers are happy, the correct people are getting paid, the right reimbursements are going through. So I daily deal with pressure, even working with kids at the dance studio, at Farr's Dance Studio. It's pressure, when you've got all these parents and I got all these kids, and the parents want the best for them, and I have to focus on so many at a time, but I just always remember my love for dance, and I learned from the best myself, so I'm sure I could pass it on. These kids, they become my friends, and I just enjoy them, and I teach myself to slow down when it comes to dance, and do the best that I can and get the best that I can out of these kids, because it's what I love. So I just love putting my love into them and showing them the love for dance and them giving it back, which just means everything and more to me. So if there was anything else I wanted you to know, I'm a busy girl. I have a lot going on and I like it. I like to stay busy. It actually helps me prioritize things. You know, like I know the days that I'm not teaching dance at night. So I know those are my days to get my school done. You know, I know when to have fun. Like, you know, like I said, I'm a part of a dart league and I'm learning how to train dogs, but, you know, I know when those days are, so I know when to work my crazy schedule around them. So time management is definitely one of my positive things. I am a very optimistic person. I am open to change. I'm very creative and I'm determined. I am motivated. I like to excel at everything I do. I like to put my best foot forward. I care for others before I care for myself. You know, I'm a humble person and I always take constructive criticism to the best that I can and fold it into a way to better myself. You know, so I don't like to believe in the negative because I believe anything negative just brings out a stronger positive. So that's very important to me. I am very loyal. I am very family oriented. I am a people person. I have awesome communication skills. I've worked with the elderly. I have worked with 3-year-olds. I have worked everywhere in between with whoever. I've worked independently. My job now is very independent, so I know how to stay focused and not get distracted. And I just try to be as happy-go-lucky as positive because we live only one life, and I believe in success and happiness and love. So I hope you choose me for this position because like I said, I will put my best foot forward and I will give it all I got. And wishing myself the best of luck. And it was great to meet you. And I thank you for your time. And I'm hoping to hear from you very soon. Have a great day.